Hello students, welcome to another class of engineering mechanics. Myself Ahmed Abdulahad from Civil Engineering Department, ISL Engineering College. So since we were discussing about frames, today we'll take down another frame which comes under the category of cantilever frame or cantilever truss. So note down the question. A cantilever truss shown in figure a cantilever truss shown in figure is loaded with with 2000 kilonewton and one 500 kilonewton as shown in figure. Find the forces in various members. Find the forces in various members of the truss using method of joints. So the truss is given in the question. Okay, so we'll draw the truss now. So this is the frame given to us in the question. Okay, there are 2000 kilonewton loads and one 500 kilonewton load at point B, C and D respectively, and we have to calculate all the forces in each member. Okay, so before calculation of the forces in each member, it has given us this theta. Okay, this theta is given to us, and also it has mentioned that this angle, this is a 90 degree, or else this line, this one and this line, these two lines are perpendicular to each other. Okay, these two lines are perpendicular to each other, which has mentioned in the diagram itself. Okay, so we'll draw that one. These two lines are perpendicular to each other. Now, before solving the problem, first of all, we have to calculate this theta. Okay, how to calculate that one? So I'll write the solution. So first we will calculate theta. So tan theta is equal to adjacent by opposite, right? Sorry, opposite by adjacent. So that is 1.5 divided by 4.5, right? This is completely AGD. Triangle AGD is a right angle triangle, and the total distance is 4.5, 1.5, 1.5 and 1.5. It will give you 4.5. So totally tan theta is equal to 1.5 by 4.5, which implies theta is equal to tan inverse of 1.5 divided by 4.5. So that implies theta is equal to 18.4 degrees. If you calculate, you'll get the value of theta as 18.4 degrees. Now, so this theta, this is how much? 18.4. So theta we calculated, that is 18.4. So this is the angle we have calculated. Now we have to solve the problem. We have to start the calculation of forces in each member. So we have to go for which joint shall I select? So if you select joint A, see I don't know the force in member, this member, right? So better we calculate from the free end. So I'll start my calculation from joint D. Okay. So I'll write here at joint D. So I'm starting my calculation from joint D here. Now, suppose this is my joint D. We have one load which is going exactly in downward direction. Either we can say like this also, or else you can show it in this fashion. Both are same. Okay. This is 500 kilonewton. Then we have one more member which is going exactly in horizontal direction. So I can write it as force in member DE. Force in member DE. Okay. Next we have an inclined member, that is member DC. Always the internal members should be, the forces in member should be taken away from the joint. We all know that, right? So this force is force in member CD or DC, and this angle is how much we know, that is 18.4. So here let me draw a bigger one. It's becoming very small, or else we'll try to increase the size of this. This is looking very small, right? So these are the forces. So what we do, we take two components for an inclined force, right? So force in member DC will be FDC sine 18.4, and this one will be FDC cos 18.4. Okay, so how many forces we have here? Totally, basically we have three forces. So how many horizontal forces are there? Sigma x is equal to 0. How many horizontal forces are there? There are totally, this one is one horizontal force FDE, and FDC cos 18.4 is the another force. Alright. So minus FDE minus FDC cos 18.4 equal to 0. So can we solve this further? We can't solve because we don't know the force in member DE, as well as we don't know the force in member DC, right? So here we can't solve further, so we'll name this as equation number 1. Now we'll go for summation of all forces in y direction, that is sigma y is equal to 0. So if you see the figure, we have two vertical forces here, that is force in member DC, which is sine 18.4, which is going in upward direction. So I'll write here FDC sine 18.4 minus 500 kilonewton load is going in downward direction. So minus 500 is equal to 0. So if you simplify this one, FDC is equal to 500 whole divided by sine 18.4. So if you simplify FDC, you will get it as, you'll get the value of FDC as 1584.03. 1584.03 kilonewton. This is FDC. Okay. So substitute the value of FDC in equation number 1. So if you substitute the value of FDC in equation number 1, we have this equation number 1, right? So I'll write here minus FDE minus, what is the value of FDC? We have 1584.03, that is 1584.03 into cos 18.4 equal to 0. Okay. So if you simplify, what we will do, we'll send this value towards right hand side. So minus FDE is equal to plus 1584.03 into cos 18.4. So since this is minus, so what we will do here, FDE is equal to minus of, simplify 1584.03, you will get it as minus 1503.04 kilonewton. Okay, so this is the force in member DE. Fine. So we have calculated the forces in member DC and also the forces in member DE. So we'll go for the figure once again. So if you see this figure, we have calculated the forces in member DC, we have calculated the forces in member DE. Okay, these two forces we have calculated. Now we'll go for another member. So which member we have to calculate, which member we have to go, we have to select that member, right? So if you see the suppose for example, if I go for joint C now, from joint D, if I go for joint C, what happens here? We have three unknowns here: force in member CE, force in member CB, and force in member CF. So there are three unknowns coming over there. So to avoid that, what we will do, we'll go for joint E. So if you go for joint E, we have how many members totally connected to joint E? We have force in member DE, force in member E. First is ED, EF, and CE or EC. Okay, so that is why we'll go for this member, that is this joint, that is joint DE. Okay. So now we'll go for joint E. So add joint E. Okay. So we'll draw the joint E here. First is force in member DE we have, right? Then we have force in member EF. Then we have force in member CE or EC. Force in member, I'll write here EC. Okay. So these are the forces acting at joint E. So simply what we have to do again, sigma x is equal to 0. So force in member DE is going in right side direction and force in member EF is going in left side direction. So force in member EF, any other horizontal force? No horizontal force, equal to 0. So force in member DE is equal to force in member EF, and we know force in member DE we have calculated just now, that is 1503.04. that is force in member EF, and force in member DE will be equal to minus 1503.04 03.04 kilonewton. This is force in member EF we have calculated. Now force in member EC, that is sigma x sigma y is equal to 0. How many vertical forces are there at joint E? There are only one joint, there is only one force in vertical direction, that is force in member EC, which is equal to 0. No any other force over there, right? So force in member EC is equal to 0 we've got, right? So now we've calculated the forces in how many members? See here, we have calculated the force in member CE or EC, and EF we have calculated. Now which joint shall I go for? If I go for joint C, then we will be having two unknowns, that is here and here. Okay, so we'll go for joint C now. So now we have to go for joint C now. So very important here, how many forces are acting at joint C? I'll write here at joint C. Okay, so see here, this is joint C, and this force, there is one force which is going exactly in downward direction, This is force in member CE, and here we have force in member CD, force in member CD, and this angle is 18.4 degrees. Force in member CD is the angle made by the member CD is 18.4. Then we have one more force, that is CB or BC, force in member BC or CB, and this angle is also 18.4 degrees. Force in member BC is also accommodated. Then here we have one more in member, that is force in member CF. Force in member CF. Force in member CF, and the member force CF will make an angle of, see here, these two angles are 90 degrees, we know, right? So these two angles are 90 degrees. So what happens if these two are 90 degrees? What is this angle? This angle is 90 minus 18 is 71.6. So this angle, ultimately the angle made by, the angle made by this force CF with this axis will be 18.4. 18.4. Okay, this is 90, no? So totally 90 minus 8, this will, if you remove this one, it will form 18.4 degrees. Okay, it is nothing but these two are 90 degrees, right? These two are, this one, it is like this one and this one are 90 degrees. If you rotate this one by 18.4 degrees, so this one also will rotate by 18.4 degrees with x-axis and 18.4 degrees with y-axis. So this is how we calculate force in angles of CF. Okay, so all the forces are over, so we'll go for sigma x is equal to 0. So how many horizontal forces will be having? We'll be having two components for force CD and two components for force BC, right, and two components for force CF, right? So these are the four components. Now we'll go for sigma x is equal to 0. So force in member BC minus this one, FBC, angle is with x-axis, so cos 18.4 minus FCF, angle is with y-axis. So if angle is with y-axis, what happens? Horizontal component will become sine, right? So sine 18.4 degrees. All right, sine 18.4 degrees plus FCD, this horizontal component, if the angle is with x-axis, so here cos 18.4 equal to 0. Okay, there is one more force going in downward direction here, that is 1000 kilonewton, right, at joint C. Fine. So can we simplify further, right? So we'll try to simplify this one. Force in member FCD, we know the value of FCD, right? So we'll substitute minus FBC cos 18.4 minus FBC cos 18.4 minus FCF sin 18.4 plus this value is one FCD. What is the value of force in member CD? We have calculated. Yes, CD It is 1584.03, right? So the value is 1584.03 into cos 18.4 equal to 0. So if you simplify this one, you will get it as minus FBC cos 18.4 minus FBC cos 18.4 minus FCF sin 18.4 plus, if you simplify these two terms, you will get it as 1503.04. 1503.04 equal to 0. Okay. So what we will do here, we'll try to simplify further. That is, we'll try to send this term towards right hand side. So what happens here is, we'll send this BC towards right hand side. Okay, this is simplification now. So FBC cos 18.4 is equal to 1503.04 minus FCF sin 18.4. Okay. So what we will do, we'll try to send this cos 18.4 towards right hand side. So what happens, FBC is equal to 1503.04 divided by cos 18.4 minus FCF sin 18.4 whole divided by cos 18.4. Okay, so we'll get the value of force in member BC in terms of FCF. Okay, so force in member BC is equal to, if you simplify 1503.04 divided by cos 18.4, you will get the value as 1584.03. This value will be 1584.03 minus sine by cos is tan, right? So if you simplify tan 18.4 or sine 18 by 4 by cos 18.4, both are same. Okay, so this value you will get it as 0.33. So 0.33 FCF. So we'll name this as equation number 2. Fine. Now we'll go for another equation, that is equilibrium equation, that is sigma y is equal to 0. Sigma y is equal to 0. Now if you see the figure here, how many vertical forces are there? We have one vertical force which is 1000 kilonewton, which is going in downward direction. Then we have FCF 18.4, then FCE going downward direction, then FCD also going in downward direction, and upward direction we have FBC. So whatever the forces which are going in upward direction, we'll take those forces first. So that is FBC is going in upward direction, right? So I'll write here FBC sin 18.4. FBC sin 18.4. This one we have completed. Next we have, how many downward forces are there? This is downward force FCF cos 18.4, right? Minus FCF cos 18.4. Why cos? Because it is making the force is making an angle of 18.4 with y axis. That is why y component will be cos and sin, x component will be sin. That is what we have taken here, right? Then minus FCE, it is going in downward direction directly. So sorry, minus FCE. Then what is the next force we have? We have FCD sin 18.4 minus FCD sine 18.4 minus 1000 kilonewton equal to 0. And we know FCE is 0. FCE is 0, right? So we'll write down all the things. That is, in term or in place of FBC, I'll write this entire term, that is 1584.03 minus 0.33 FCF. Okay, this is force in member BC into, this is FBC, then into sine 18.4 minus FCF cos 18.4 minus FCD. Force in member CD we have calculated. Force in member CD. What is the force in member CD we have calculated? We have no force in member CD. Force in member CD is 1584.03. This one is 1584.03 we have calculated. So 1584.03 is F force in member CD into sine 18.4 minus 1000 is equal to 0. Now we'll simplify this one. We'll multiply this 1584.03 into sine 18.4. Then again we'll multiply with this one. Okay. So I'll write here 1584.03 into sine 18.4. Sine 18.4. You will get 499.9. So here you will get 500 minus 0.33 into 0.33 into sine 18.4. Sine 18.4. You will get the value as 0.104 FCF. Okay, then here minus FCF cos 18.4 is how much? Cos 18.4, you will get it as 0.948. Okay, 0.948. Okay, minus 1584.03 into sine 1584.03 into sine 18.4. Again you will get it as 500. Okay, so this is 500 minus 1000 is equal to 0. So this is 500, this 500 and this 500 will get cancelled. So if you see here, we have FCF and FCF. So add these two terms, minus and minus, no, add these two terms, you will get it as minus 0.104 plus 0.948. You will get it as 1.052 minus 1.052 FCF minus 1000, right, is equal to 0. So FCF is equal to minus 1000 divided by 1.052. So 1000 divided by 1.052. You will get it as force in member CF is equal to 950.57 kilonewton. Force in member CF we have calculated. Now substitute the force in member CF in equation number 2. That is this equation. You will get the value of force in member BC. So force in member BC is equal to 1584.03 1584.03 minus 0.33 into FCF, that is 950.57. So if you simplify, you will get it as 950.77 into 0.33, then 1584 0.03 minus answer, you'll get it as 1 2. Force in member BC as 1270.27 kilonewton. Okay, so this is how we calculate force in member BC and CF. Now how many forces we have calculated so far? See, force in member BC we have calculated, force in member CF also we have calculated, right? Now we'll go for force in which joint shall we go for? Either we can go for joint F also. If you go for joint F, we know these two forces, that is force in member this one and this one we know. We have to calculate only this force and this force, right? So what we will do, we'll go for joint F. Either you can go for joint B also, because we have joint A, then B and BF we have, right? So any of those joints you can go for. It is not necessary that you have to go only for that particular joint. Fine. So we'll go for joint F. So we'll draw joint at joint F. Okay, so at joint F, how many forces are acting? You see there. I'll draw this joint here. We have force in member EF, right? Then we have force in member CF, force in member CF, then force in member BC, force in member BC, then we have force in member GF or FG. Force in member, will take GF. Okay, so here we'll be having two components, right? Inclined force, so two components. So what is this angle? This angle, force in member CF is making an angle of, with y-axis it is making 18.4. So with this one you will get 71.6. Okay, so if you do sigma x is equal to 0, you will get minus force in member GF plus force in member EF plus force in member, so this is EF, and plus force in member CF into cos 71.6 equal to 0. So if you simplify, we have the value of force in member EF we know, force in member CF we know. So if you simplify, you will get force in member GF is equal to minus 123.9.74 kilonewton. Okay, force in member GF we've calculated directly. Now if you calculate sigma y is equal to 0, you will get force in member, what are the vertical forces we have? We have force in member, this is BF, right? This one. So this is force in member BF. Then we have another force plus FCF sine 71.6, right? Sine 71.6 is equal to 0. So force in member BF will be equal to minus 806.52 kilonewton. We got the value of force in member BF. Now if you go for joint B, at joint B, so how many forces are acting at joint B? So many forces are acting at joint B, right? So how many forces we have to calculate? We have to calculate only one force, which is force in member BA only. So if you calculate, you will get the value of force in member AB. Force in member AB is equal to 1303.51. Okay, force in member AB. That is the only force we have to calculate in the last at joint B. Okay, so this is how we calculate all the forces in each member of the truss. Okay, gradually. So these trusses are nothing but your cantilever trusses. Okay, previously we have taken simply supported trusses and simply supported frames, and here we have cantilever trusses. Okay, so this is the end of this chapter. Okay, all the problems we have covered, whatever the different types of problems we came across in examinations or in previous question papers, all the problems have been completed in our classes. So in the next class we'll take down the last topic, that is dynamics. From next class onwards we'll be dealing with dynamics, right? So what do you mean by dynamics? Dynamics is the part of mechanics in which we study the body under motion. Okay, we have different parts, that is kinetics and kinematics. All those things we'll see in the next upcoming class. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you.